this is part 2 to last night when YouTube started acting crazy. So I look like this on all through this video as I'm doing my commentary through this video. Yeah, I'm just letting y'all see for y'allself what actually goes on in Children's Hospital. When someone says that someone is racist or they're not getting the help that they should have gotten in Children's Hospital, and when I sit here and say that I know people that are white that's on Facebook that's like, they're racist as fuck. I'm talking about white people that have full white kids and white people that have biracial kids and black people that are like they have just got sorry and this and that and the third. Like, yeah, I have been in Arkansas my whole life. Arkansas Children's Hospital used to be the best hospital that you could go to. You used to be able to receive the best treatment and everything else. Right now, I would tell you, like I would tell anybody, unless it's life or death, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. But yeah, this is how I look on the whole video. I don't care enough to get made up to do a whole actual video with this. I just really don't. My child is still in the ICU and they're still keeping him there because his heart rate is still too low. His heart rate is low because he's still on pain medicine. Just kind of making him loopy. But when he's not on the medicine, he's combative. But the medicine is what's making him combative. So that's what Jay is dealing with up there. Yeah.
Are you not going to participate?
I don't know what else to talk to you about other than I asked for a different nurse. Y'all refusing a different nurse. So I don't understand where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know how to.
Yeah. So, and so right now there's not another nurse available, is what
Not
you're
at the
saying.
moment. Mm-mm.
And when do you think that might change?
Shift change.
At 7, so
Mhm.
a few more hours. So in a few more hours, we'll be able to do that. Will you be able to stay in the same room with this nurse until we get?
I'm not leaving my son, and why do this nurse have to be in a room with my son this whole time anyway?
Because it's intensive care.
Yeah, that's what we do. A lot of our patients are one-on-one, and so that nurse stays in the room with them the entire time. He's on the ventilator, so that's a super important thing that we need to be in there, making sure that we are taken care of. And it's just really important that the nurse is actually in the room. We actually encourage them to be in there, taking care of the patient.
Yeah, that's why we have intensive care, especially if they're ventilated. You know, we have to watch all that stuff pretty close. Do you think you'll be able to go to sleep tonight at all? In terms of being able to like kind of lay down and just go to sleep, or you think you're gonna be up because you're gonna be watching your kiddo?
I'm watching my child and his nurse.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Was there another interaction other than the one you talked about that you had with the nurse?
yeah, was there something else that happened too?
She's basically just rude, like I've been saying, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Would it help to have the nurse come in or not?
And why, since I asked Cassandra about a supervisor,
That's
said I could
me.
switch the nurse. Well, whoever that other lady is that had the glasses on, she sat here and looked at me and rolled her eyes because I asked for a different nurse. So what's her issue? Because it's not like she's a nurse in there.
Which one were you talking to?
Whoever told you that I requested to speak to a supervisor to change the nurse.
Off the desk, like right across from where you're at.
And told me that I couldn't leave the room, which that was something that we was never told.
That you could not leave the room? Oh,
It's
because of the COVID?
rule out COVID,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to add in here, not only did for one, when I was downstairs, I was told that when I need to go to get all of Jackson's stuff because I had brought it because me and Jay was on the phone. So he had already told me that they had rushed him to the back to work on him. That just sounds like we're going to stay at the hospital. That does not, I have never had a child that had to be rushed to the back and came home. I have never had a child that had to be rushed to the back at all, ever, at all 4 of my kids. Also, Not only did the hoe tell me that I need to stay in my room, but told me I need to keep my mask on. I want to know, when did I take my mask off while she was looking at me rolling her eyes? Like, yeah, these people didn't want to do nothing, and they didn't do nothing. The good news is my son is off. As soon as I went in the room, that's exactly what I asked the doctor, and the doctor took him off the ventilator and took him off the oxygen. So this particular nurse sat her ass outside, and she only came in there once an hour to check whatever records that she's supposed to check once an hour. And another nurse with Jay was outside the door, like the nurse from last night was outside the door. Like, if there's an issue, I don't know how hard it is to change the fucking nurse. Like, it's real simple. This particular person, one of them was a social worker, and this other person is the family coordinator. That it was a lot of stuff that was not told to us during this stay. Horrible stay, racist hospital. Do not take your kids here.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, first of all, I know from all the experience here that our intention is not to be rude and pissing you off. We don't want to piss you off.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I said that this motherfucker was a bitch, she wanted to go ahead and be like, well, she's the best nurse here, and she's this and she's that. Well, bitch, I'm not experiencing the best nurse that y'all are experiencing, obviously, or else I wouldn't even fucking be in here, seeing that I came from downstairs with not one problem, and came up here. And correct me if I'm wrong, since it was a problem with me calling this motherfucker a bitch. Why is it that she could sit here and use the word piss and pissed off? And I think the doctor told my husband, what the hell? And another person was talking to my husband and said shit and everything else. But when I curse, I am the angry black woman. Interesting.
You know, we like to work in partnership with parents. And if that didn't happen in this particular case, I'm sure Christy can sit down with the nurse and talk to her.
And that's why I was asking if there was
She's not going to do nothing, obviously. So can I go back with my child, or what else do we need to talk about?
Well, okay. I guess not. We won't need to talk about that anymore. Then the other issue is about possibly videotaping in the room and outside of the room. As far, you cannot videotape here. It's a violation of the HIPAA regulations, and it's like $10,000 a minimum.
And it's also funny how I supposed to be videotaping. They have no proof other than what's on YouTube of anything that I videotape. And of course I'm going to videotape this conversation because it sounds biased as the fuck to me. I'm sure everyone else will feel the same way that's listening to this, and everyone else that's commenting on here feels the same exact way. What else can I say about that? I don't see no signs that's saying that you can't videotape. There's no sign saying that it's a $10,000 fine. Your identity is not on here with a face mask and some whole goggles. So in a yellow gown on. So I want to know what Inspector Gadget is going to sit here and identify anybody from their gown, a mask, and goggles on. Make this make sense. And I don't know when this rule is supposed to come in place. To me, it seems as if this rule is in place for people that y'all want to be in place with. So that was the first threat. Then she came back with the police. And then she had a meeting with my husband. And then when my child at 9 a.m, also came back with someone else to make threats about what I need to do with my videos. I don't take lightly to threats. What they need to do is get some new staff that is not racist. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to worry about y'all brand and getting my child at this hospital.
We're violating that, and so we ask you not to videotape anyone. So if you have done that already, you need to delete it so that the privacy of the patients and the staff can be protected.
And I see you with my child.
Yeah, we don't.
My child is the patient.
I'm talking about the other patients that are in here.
I didn't videotape no other patient. And y'all have on masks, so who can even tell who you are?
Every family walking back and forth. That's just the way it is because of the HIPAA guidelines. You know, that you can't.
Yeah, riddle me this. COVID's going on. Only one parent can be in there at a time. everyone has to wear a mask. You have goggles on. You have this yellow stuff on. What patient is up walking around that I'm just up here filming? Like just tell me that what patient is walking around, because if you're in the ICU, if you come from trauma to ICU, who's up walking around other than the nurses that have on masks and goggles? My child is in the ICU at this time with tubes down his throat and oxygen on, and you want to talk to me about what I'm videotaping instead of fixing your racist ass hospital. They failed to tell us about the orientation to even wash our clothes, wash our butt, or anything like that, or how we can feed ourselves or our kids in this hospital, because you're worried about what I'm videotaping. But when I have videos on here talking about whatever good service that I might have had, like at the Friends of Circle, whatever that place is called, it's funny how I never was asked to take those videos down. But when it's a video on how sorry y'all are and how sorry y'all have been, like, we don't talk about this. And just like if a parent sit here and tell someone that their child has autism, I mean, I would just think that that parent knows that their kid have autism. Who self-diagnoses their child with autism? And that's the last thing I would want to diagnose my kid with. Like, y'all, this hospital, I can go on and on and on with this video, but I'm not. I'm just going to show y'all the proof of what else happened in that conversation when YouTube started buffering while I was live, so y'all could see it yourself what I was talking about.
Videotape. So, and I'm wondering why you feel that you want to. Because you feel like something's gonna happen that's not gonna, that you're. Okay. And so, I mean, the issue is if you are videotaping and you continue to videotape, then we'll have to ask you to leave the hospital, which we don't want to do. We want you to be here with your kiddo. Okay? And we want you to feel comfortable here, and so we'll try to do what we can to help you feel comfortable. We'll have a switch of nurses, and I know you'll talk with your current nurse and see if that will not help make things a little more comfortable. Okay?
Okay.
You still angry?
So I sat here and listened to this bullshit because they didn't do nothing. Y'all heard earlier in this video, well, we're not going to change nurses to shift change. Well, duh, the nurses going to change with shift change. Why? Duh, that's common sense. I'm so angry. All I sat here and said is, because you're telling me some fucking bullshit. Like, I could have been in here with my child. I sat here and had to basically listen to you tell me about videotaping and how you're going to ask me to leave and how you're going to make me pay a fine. And even after this, you still came and fucked with me with the police. And after this, you still kept fucking with me and picking with me. This hospital is racist as fuck. This hospital need to be worried about getting these kids out these hospitals so people can go home and mind their fucking business and go on with their life. I would never refer anyone to Children's Hospital unless it's a life or death situation like Jackson had last night. Other than that, do not, the doctors, my kids are not assigned to Children's Hospital doctors for this reason right here. I don't take my kids to Children's Hospital for glasses, dentists, none of that. None of it. And if you are in Arkansas and you wondering should you go to Arkansas Children's Hospital, if you're black or a minority, don't waste your time, don't waste your breath, don't waste your energy. That's still your child. This hospital is racist as hell. And they show you that by how I was treated tonight, how I was treated that night, and how I have been getting treated since before this night and since what Carter was 2. And Carter's 12 now. So that should tell you that this hospital hasn't got no better. They just got more races and they got more people on their back to fuck you up. This is the hospital that love to open up DHS cases where there's no abuse, but the people that are actually abusing kids that are other, they're not calling DHS on. This wasn't nothing but a waste of my time. Pretty much y'all not doing nothing, and I could have been in here with my child.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. So, okay. All right, Christy, anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'll show you back to your room.
It's amazing how I feel exactly how you sat here and treated someone. I feel like y'all don't give a fuck about the patient's parents. You didn't do shit and it was wasting my time. Everyone that just watched this video and watched the video from last night, what got accomplished? You basically told me that you're not gonna do shit. Told me that I'm an angry black woman. What got accomplished other than wasting my time? Oh, and told me that you're gonna kick me out the hospital with my child hooked up to ventilators and in the ICU for recording footage that you don't even have fucking proof that I recorded. You have speculation. You have one video on YouTube that you didn't get into the next morning. And I made sure I went live just in case something like this happened. So that you can see for yourself how they really treat their patients of color and their patients' parents of color.